Hi everyone, and welcome back to another DigiEduHack coaching call. Today we are going to talk about planning your on-site event. So if you know that you are planning an on-site event, all of the participants will be physically on site, then this coaching call is for you. We will go through the pros and cons, first of all, of having an on-site event if you are still not completely sure if you want to do on-site, online, or a blended event. We're also going to give you an example schedule and go through all of the different agenda points. It's pretty detailed, I already say, so you don't need to include all of the things we mentioned, but just to give you a sense of what kind of things could be included in your schedule and your agenda. We're also going to go through what you should take into consideration when booking and prepping your venue, when it comes to catering, resourcing, and of course, scheduling in some breaks in between for both the team and the participants. So, if you're thinking about the format still, let's go through some pros and cons of having an on-site event first of all. The first pro, of course, is that you get that face-to-face in-person interaction when everyone is in the same place. This way, the participants, not only participants from one team, but from all of the different teams, can network with each other, with the mentors, judges, a bit more maybe naturally than in an online environment. So definitely that communication, collaboration, brainstorming, all of this comes together in that community sense very nicely in an on-site event. You also get very fast, if not immediate, feedback and support as a participant. When the mentors are kind of circling around in the venue, it's very easy to just pick a mentor's brain on a topic quickly when it comes to your mind and get feedback immediately. So the problem solving and process is maybe a bit faster than in an online environment where you need to book a call with a mentor to get feedback on said issue that you're dealing with. And as I already kind of mentioned, goes into the same umbrella, that fluid networking, that really natural networking and easy opportunities for both participants to connect with other participants and teams, with mentors, with sponsors, with the organizers, other like-minded individuals. So that definitely is a good pro. A con that we've identified is, of course, that it does set a constraint on your reach. So all the individuals joining your hackathon do need to be physically on site, which means that maybe they have to travel to your location or otherwise plan their transportation there. Maybe they need to take an accommodation if they don't live in that same area or whatever the case may be. So you do get a smaller reach of people that are most likely willing to travel to your location rather than taking place or part online from basically wherever. So do keep that in mind. We're going to give you an example schedule, and as I said, it's quite detailed. So if you already know that some of these things you will cover before the hackathon starts, then you just skip those things in your agenda in the actual hackathon. However, we want to lay it all out there so that you can plan, because of course, a nicely planned event is already halfway done, so that you'll be prepared and so on. We do advise, first of all, that you have a very strict schedule that you keep. It is easier as a participant to plan their participation in an event if they know exactly the schedule and they know that it will stay that way. So do make sure that you communicate a clear schedule and stick to it, regardless of what that schedule is. As you know, as a host, you have a the freedom, let's say, to choose how you set up your 24-hour event. So it can be 24 hours straight. You can divide it 12 hours on 2 days, 8 hours on 3 days, and so on and so on. But you have that full week and a half to use for your 24 hours. So do with that as you please. In this agenda schedule, let's say in the example, we're giving you a 2-day event. Again, if your event isn't 2 days, no worries at all, but this is how you could plan a 2-day event. Let's go into them a bit more in depth. The first thing you need to do is have an opening session in your event, just so that you kind of kickstart the day together, get that good feeling and atmosphere, but also make it very clear for everyone what is going to happen over the coming day or days. Here, a checklist that you could use is going through, of course, a quick welcome by the moderator, facilitator, whoever that is. You also receive a DigiEduHack opening video that we ask all of the hosts to share with their participants. If you have sponsors that you want to thank, this is a perfect place to do so. And of course, go through the event's purpose. What are we here to do together? Who are the mentors, other stakeholders that you want to mention at this point? Maybe a sponsor or a partner wants to have a speaking slot here. Something pretty short though, so that people can then actually get to work as well, but definitely a good place to get some visibility and have a few faces say a few encouraging words to the participants. We ask you to also go through the core values of the event, so that it's clear for everyone what the DigiEduHack initiative is about and what the atmosphere in these hackathons should be. And then cover the key challenge again, requirements. What are we looking for in the event? What is going to happen in terms of schedule? What are the key points? And is there anything else that you want to add in terms of logistics? Let's say, where are the meals taking place? Are there any doors that will be locked after a certain time? Any other house rules that you want to cover, so that when the teams get to work after this, all of those practical things are completely covered. If by the start of your hackathon event, you still have participants with no team, we suggest having a so-called matchmaking workshop at this point, so very, very early in the event. Here you can have a session where single participants introduce themselves, their skills, backgrounds, maybe their interests of what they would like to work on in this hackathon, and then facilitate matches based on these introductions. You can either have a fully formed team already and add an individual to that team, or then you can have a few individuals that you just match together to one team. So however you want to do that and whatever seems natural in the situation. Of course, in these last minute matchmakings, you have to kind of work with the profiles you've got, but we still want to say that if there's a chance to take that diversity into mind, so having people with different backgrounds and different skills in the same team, that of course is a very good innovation driver, and getting a few more perspectives into the same team is really valuable. But of course, the people that are there are the ones that you play with. Another thing, and of course, before going forward, you can do this matchmaking already in advance, let's say in your own Discord for your event, or maybe have matchmaking sessions before the hackathon starts with all of your registered participants. So you can keep contact with those even before the hackathon starts and try to matchmake people before the event starts. This way they might be a bit more, they can just get straight to work, let's say, on the first day of the hackathon if they already have a team, and we don't need to matchmake them during the first day of the hackathon. But this is also a good option. If by the start of your hackathon, you also have the situation that some teams have not yet come up with a project idea, you can also host a ideation workshop to begin the hackathon, using the solution canvas that we have, or other ideation tools that you find useful. Here you can involve your mentors in supporting the teams, and kind of help them brainstorm. But if the situation is that not everyone has a project idea getting started, do make sure that your first priorities at the first day of the hackathon is getting everyone into a team, getting a project idea for every team. Perfect. Another slot that we think might be useful at some stage in your hackathon process is the participants' ideas intro. If your participants are already in teams and they have ideas, no need to do this. Or if you already had a Meet the Mentors pre-hackathon session, then you can also skip this part. But if the teams and the mentors have never had any contact before, the mentors have no idea what the projects are about, you can have the teams quickly present their idea in kind of an elevator pitch format, a minute, 2 minutes max, nothing crazy, and then have a quick few-minute feedback session for the teams. So the teams introduce their projects in 1, 2, 3 minutes. The mentors give a few feedbacks, maybe, so that the teams can immediately get started. And then, of course, they can have more in-depth sessions with the mentors later on. But this is a good way to get the teams and the mentors familiar with one another. The mentors kind of get a sense of the different projects that are available in the hackathon, and they already kind of know who they could support the best and so on. But again, if you did this before the hackathon, skip this part at this point. Excellent. You can also schedule in different workshops that can help participants, maybe regarding the given challenge, maybe a specific tool or technology that the participants are required to use in your challenge, any other relevant topic to the hackathon. Yeah, these can be set up however you want, involve your sponsors, whatever you want to do. In kind of a different angle with scheduling different informative sessions and so on, do remember to schedule in breaks as well. Or you don't need to schedule them into the schedule if you don't want to, but please have breaks kind of available for participants. You can organize a physical a yoga session, or games, or other icebreakers, or networking, or after work mingling, whatever the case may be, karaoke, any kind of getting your mind off the work for a bit and getting to focus on the social aspects of the hackathon. So try to schedule in something that is a bit lighter and doesn't really touch the hackathon topic, but still gives the people a nice break and a networking session. We also suggest that you schedule in a few check-ins with the teams. You can do this by simply going from team to team, asking how they're doing, how are they feeling, are they stuck, do they have any questions, what kind of issues are they dealing with at this point, what kind of mentoring support do they need, whatever the case may be. If you want to do this with the whole group, you can. If you want to schedule in quick chats with every team, you can. Whatever feels natural, but do make sure that you stay on top of the team's progress from time to time during the hackathon. A very important part of the hackathon is mentoring, of course. The mentors are there to advise, support, inspire the participants, help them to actually develop their projects as much as they can. the mentor shouldn't be doing the work for the teams, of course, but just tweak them into the right directions, share their knowledge on what they know have been done, what didn't work previously, what could work, what kind of things should they look into, what kind of resources do they know about, whatever the case may be. And here again, you have pretty free hands. Do you want the teams to book the mentors? Do you want the teams to have an assigned mentor throughout the whole hackathon? Do you assign new mentors during each of those check-ins? Whatever the case may be, do mentors decide who they want to mentor? So however you feel like this makes more sense, that's the way you should do it. However you decide to do it, do have that mentoring process communicated to all so that the mentors know what to do and the teams know what to do, and everyone knows how to get in touch with each other. On the second day, or however many days you do, you can have a quick welcome back session. Keep it short, to the point, welcome everyone back, cover the schedule of the day, what's going to happen, remind the participants of the deadline of submitting their solutions, whatever the case may be. Here, maybe you want to have an interactive twist and have the teams share something about where they are at, how they feel going into day 2, whatever the case may be. And then, of course, during all of the event, there is this mentoring and working aspect. So whenever something is in schedule, the teams will most likely be working and together with the support of the mentors. When it is time to collect the solutions, all of the hackathon teams should submit their solution, and as a host, you are collecting that. Make sure that every team submits only one solution. You don't need to have several submissions per team because it makes it messy. So one solution or submission per team. Remind your teams that the deadline is coming. How do they submit on the website, and so on. We advise participants to use the solution canvas on our website and submit any additional material there. But again, you will advise as it looks best to you. As part of the evaluation process, the teams can also present their solution, and this is highly advisable. The teams would then be given 3 to 5 minutes each to present and defend their idea in this pitching session. Here we have you should have a jury that after listening to the team's 3-minute, 5-minute, however long pitch you want to have, they get an additional few minutes to ask some questions. So there's a pitch and a Q&A in most cases. And here, of course, the jury will then assess based on their evaluation grid, and then decide on the winning teams in your own hackathon or a local event. Try to make this session as lively as possible, even though it's a competition. It shouldn't be too serious. The team should be excited about their projects, and the jury should be constructive and coming from a positive place rather than being super critical and so on. So make sure as a facilitator that the teams and the jury all have a good time, even though it's a competition. No matter if you have a Q&A session or not, or simply a pitch and a Q&A, the jury will decide and evaluate on the winning teams. We advise you to schedule in a time for jury deliberation. It means that the teams can go and enjoy a snack or a break or whatever the case may be, and then the judges fill in their evaluation grid, and then you can discuss around those scores. This kind of just enables the jury to come to a consensus beyond those numbers. So to have a discussion about why someone ranked a team a certain way and so on, so that in the top 3 or however many winners you want to identify, all of the jury members are happy with it and come to a consensus. We don't think you have to rank all the teams. Top 3 is perfectly fine. But do still remember that even if you locally award, let's say 3 teams, you will only send 1 top winner to the DigiEduHack Global Award competition. And at the end of your local event, we advise you to have a award and closing session. So a short award ceremony, closing the hackathon on a high note, celebrating your winners and so on. Here we advise again that you try to have the judges announce the winners, maybe a sponsor if that's relevant, or whatever the case may be. So have the judges give some sort of motivation. This team was great because it did X, Y, Z things. We were especially impressed by this and this. The team is, drum roll, team X. So something to kind of get that drama and kind of excitement into that award session as well. Once the winners have been identified, you have given out your prizes, thank everyone, the mentors, judges, sponsors, participants, and invite them to watch the main stage event, of course, as well. Post-event, learn from your participants and stakeholders and collect feedback. We can suggest doing this through feedback forms. You can also do oral feedback sessions, but it is very important as a facilitator to get that feedback. What went well? What can we improve on until next time? So do collect feedback from all of your involved individuals. Before your grand winner team leaves the hackathon, make sure that you have informed them about the next steps. It means that they have to submit their winning solution again for the DigiEduHack Global Award competition. You as a host decide or are in charge of letting them know what category they compete in. That we have those 9 different categories, as you know. And then you need to provide them the link from your personal area so that they can submit their winning solution or their grand solution. They have a couple of days to do so. You can support them, and if you need any help with this, we can support you. But just know that that needs to happen in a few days after your hackathon event. And then after your grand winner has submitted their solution, you can go into those real post-event activities. What went right? What went wrong? Have a discussion with your team, analyze the feedback, maybe make some post-event social media posts or blog articles, whatever the case may be. For the venue itself, when you are prepping and trying to kind of plan the structure of the venue, a few things that we think you should take into consideration. First of all, the accessibility. Do you need keys to access the space? How many keys do you need? Is it just for the facilitators? Do the participants need their own? Whatever the case may be. Is it accessible for all, even for someone in a wheelchair, etc.? Are there parking slots, or should you take public transport to get here? All of these things. Do also consider the size and the capacity of the space. Is it big enough to fit all of your teams in terms of having working areas, resting areas, a stage to present, maybe some closed areas for the organizer team to put their stuff, maybe a space for the mentors to kind of hang out and relax when they are not mentoring, a dining area, all of these things. So is the space capable of having all of those teams, mentors, judges there, working, relaxing, getting fed? We can you can do a few things when you are planning that working area aspect. Co-working open spaces are great, but try to make it as airy as possible so that the team still would have some sort of kind of privacy. It means that maybe you can have some dividers, space dividers, or just having a few teams only in one space and then a few teams in another space if you have several different spaces in your venue, whatever the case is. And we do advise you to have some private rooms available if the teams want to make calls or chat with mentors more kind of privately and so on. So do they take those things into consideration? How do you structure the spaces and so on so that it's not too cramped? You will also need a presentation space, as said. So a stage where you do the opening session, you do the maybe the workshops, the pitching, of course, the award ceremony, and so on. Think about here the sound. That do you need mics? Does the acoustic work? How many mics do you need? Maybe one for the teams when they pitch, maybe one for the jury, maybe more. Do you have chairs in front of that stage? Is there that big screen available? All of these logistical things that you can hear and have a good kind of presentation space available. Also think about the internet connection. Is there a good Wi-Fi and does it work for so many people that you need to access it? Will it be fast enough? Do you have power outlets for all of the teams? Let's say that each team is 5 people, then you need 5 outlets per team. So try to make sure that you have power outlets with reach for every working space and so on. Think about your catering options. Do you go somewhere to eat with the teams at certain times? Do you have a caterer coming to the venue, or do you order pizzas on one day, or whatever the case may be? But make sure that you have that covered. You know the dietary restrictions of the participants and so on. And as mentioned, think about that resting area as well. So if there's a place where the teams can kind of go and relax when they're not working, or they want to get their mind off things, is there some sort of relaxation and resting area as well? For the catering, a bit more in depth. First of all, decide if you have any catering or any are the meals covered or not in your hackathon. We at least always advise to provide coffee and tea, snacks. These can be fruits, chips, candy bars, protein bars, smoothies, fruits, whatever the case may be. But do have something available for your participants. Even though they are mostly sitting at their computers and hacking away, it is very, very, very tough for the brain, and you do need that energy and that nurture to keep going. So definitely do take into consideration that your teams need that fuel in order for them to perform their best in the hackathon. If you provide meals as well, you can do this a few different ways as well. Either you can have breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything included in your schedule. But do think about how many different meals you want to provide, and again, communicate this to the team so that they know when they will be receiving dinner or lunch from your end and when they are not. Also count the participants, mentors, judges, so that you know around how many people will be eating, so that you don't order way too little or way too much, so that your budget is as true to the real number as possible. And as said, think about those dietary restrictions already in advance so that all of the participants can take part of all of the meals. If you don't provide meals, maybe you can identify nearby places for the participants to have meals, give them a few suggestions. Try to partner with these places to get a discount, maybe some vouchers, whatever the case may be, and communicate clearly about these options. So even though you might not be able to provide meals for your participants, try to support them as much as possible so that that part is as easy as possible for them. Yes, let's jump into some resourcing chats. When you are hosting an on-site event, there are a few things that you should, again, think about in terms of resourcing. First of all, hosting the event itself. Who is going to be your moderator, let's say, at the event, hosting the opening, the closing, the solution presentation, meaning the pitching and the Q&A, the deliberation with the jury, the award ceremony, and so on and so on. So who is going to be, let's say, the face of the hackathon? You also need some resources to facilitate the teams and the mentors' work. Who is making sure that all of the teams and the mentors are finding each other, assigning mentors to teams, and so on. You also need to maintain the facility and the work conditions, refill the snacks and make more coffee, make sure that the policies are respected, make sure that the area is clean and kind of fresh to work in, and whatever the case may be. And then when it comes to those technical things, ensuring that you have the microphones, you have the presentation materials connected to the screens, the sound works, whatever the case may be. And then, of course, that there's a good atmosphere. The mentors are being taken care of, the judges are taken care of, they're welcomed, supported, same with the teams, that everyone knows that they are in good hands. So when you're planning and putting together your hackathon organizing team, think about how many people you need so that all of these things are covered. And finally, the thing I said earlier about giving the participants some breaks. We suggest that you already prepare some sort of energy boost to provide a breather. It can be social activity in terms of games or icebreaker activities. It can be karaoke, different workshops that maybe are not as tough as challenge workshops, but maybe something lighter. It can be a yoga or a meditation or something completely different. But the most important thing here is that you enable teams to actually interact with different people from not only within their own team. So try to break the teams up a bit, mix people, let them network together, and give them a bit of a breather from their tough work. And the final thing for today, remember to also take pictures, videos of your event, send us a selection in Discord, of course, with consent from everyone. And then you can definitely use these 10 days to give your content or make your content visible. So use the hashtags and share on your channels during the event, after the event, just so that we can all take part of your hackathons, because we know that they are going to be super. So share with us what you're doing so that we can stay on top of it and feel like we're taking part as well. If anything else comes to mind when you are planning your physical event, again, reach out either on Discord or through the email address here on the screen, and we're happy to help you further. Thanks so much again, and next time we will be covering a different topic.